If you are looking to truly heal, if you are looking to truly overcome some of the pain, challenges that you've been through in your life, you have to take a multidisciplinary, multimodality approach that addresses your health, your mindset, your life holistically, looking at mind, body, heart, and spirit. The challenge we face in Western medicine and our society in general is we're looking at the injury or the pain or the challenge very acutely, okay, and then giving some sort of medication or treatment specifically for that. And it can be very, very helpful at times. It has helped me. It's actually helped save my life from some serious head injuries that I've had. However, if we truly want to resolve our challenges from a holistic level, from a root level, we're going to have to address many different aspects of our life, our mindset, our emotions, right? And how we also connect to life and spirit in general. So this was actually inspired. I recently watched a documentary, The Wisdom of Trauma. It highlights Gabor Mate's work on healing trauma psychosomatically. So very much aligned with the root cause type of approach. And so, what I'm talking about here, this could be for health challenges that you currently have, injuries. It also very much related to addictions, or maybe you even just feel stuck in your life, right? Or there's some nagging issue, mental health issue. Anxiety is a huge one. A lot of us suffer from certain levels of anxiety, because ultimately, what is happening in our life, in our body, and our day-to-day habits, it's mostly driven by our subconscious programming. And so if we want to make shifts in our life from a foundational level, we're going to have to address at that level. Again, so maybe you're tuning in here, or you're thinking about, okay, you're having a challenge right now with your health, physical health, could be mental health. Maybe you're having, some chronic anxiety, you're going through some knee pain. Those are both issues that I've suffered from for a long time. And it's really inspired my journey. A little bit of a backstory. I was a competitive soccer player in my youth, played Division I through college. I was on this journey of really trying to play at the highest level that I could. Inevitably, I didn't know how to take care of my body. I was in a very much of a cycle if I kept pushing myself to be better. I wasn't really listening to my body. And what happened over time was my body broke down. I had some serious spinal injuries, hip, knee, ankle, concussions. I had head trauma, and I was forced to stop. So, the body is always speaking to us. It's always talking to us. It starts out with whispers, and then the voice gets louder and louder. Then eventually it's like a boom, cosmic smack in the face. And that's what literally happened to me. So, and I've had to pay the price. It's been 20 years since I had my first onset of kind of a chronic nerve pain knee issue that I've had. And, I'm still on my path. So I want to also just state it from that standpoint. What I've realized though is, kind of whatever modality that you end up choosing, there's a lot of amazing modalities. You have to address your life from all different aspects. So what am I talking about? From a health standpoint, your foundations of movement, sleep, nutrition, hydration, how you think, and how you breathe. So those 6 principles have to address. So oftentimes, especially when I was younger, through a lot of my 20s, I was mainly just focused on the physical to start off with, and then I started learning about nutrition. So it was mostly like physical movement and nutrition. Also started learning about sleep, and I started to clean up those aspects of my health and well-being. But you could be doing all of the perfect exercises that your physical therapist gave you, all the perfect exercises, all the right meal plans and everything. But if you are waking up every day telling yourself a story about your unworthiness, so you don't look good enough, or you're not good enough at work, or whatever it might be, or that you're unlovable, that is going to massively impact your health and well-being, right? So then again, coming to recognizing what's happening in the mind with our mindset, and if it is a problem with the mind, we can try to, hack and mindset our way out of this kind of stuff and better performance and everything. But what I've realized is that that method and approach will work in the short run, but it won't work in the long run. And so truly, like this, what I have learned in my journey of health, well-being, healing is, number one, this is about connecting to your heart, and it's also connecting to something that's greater than you. And it doesn't matter what you believe in. It could be God, it could be the universe, it could be divine intelligence, it could be nature, it could be your pet dog. It really doesn't matter. But generally speaking, connecting to and trusting in that there is a greater force that is truly guiding us throughout our lives, and that everything that we have experienced, it's really for our greatest good, and we are always being guided. So it's really a matter of tuning in. So maybe, okay, our whole life we've been looking for a certain level of accomplishment or success that's pushed us on a certain path, that's made us choose certain relationships and certain jobs. But maybe over time, we were really going against, it was an uphill battle, right? So, and that job wasn't in alignment for us, but we kept going, we kept pushing, then we got sick, we had a stomach issue, or we kept getting sick all the time, right? So that was kind of our higher self talking through our body, right? So that's something to think about. Two is addressing the issues that are going on in your heart. And, our heart is the most powerful, the most important organ in our body. And it's connected to our emotional body. So I'm not just talking about the physical here. It's really connecting to yourself, and starting with being able to truly appreciate and love yourself. And so much of change and kind of a positive experience in our health and well-being starts from this place of just truly having this love and appreciation for yourself and the world around you and people around you. And so it's important to take an assessment of your life, your relationships, how you relate to others, how you relate to the situations in your world, right? And what are the stories that you're telling yourself? And also, what are the emotions that you're constantly experiencing? We have an issue in our society that certain emotions are good, certain emotions are bad. In reality, all these emotions are equally valid. The anger is as equally valid as the joy. And this is also coming to Dr. Gabor Mate's work, is that, and a lot of teachers and doctors now talk about, is that if we repress emotions of anger, even if we repress fear and just try to push it away, for example, or run away from it, we're going to create stagnation in our body. We're going to create stuck energy. There's going to be potentially resentment, and that's going to lead to sickness. It's going to lead to things like cancer. And so if we can really truly be the masters of our bodies, of our minds, and our emotions, learning how to let everything come through and finding ways to express it in a healthy way, we're going to be taking leaps forward in our overall health and well-being. And again, there's so many approaches, there's so many modalities and teachings out there. So honestly, it's finding something that works for you. Some of the main things that I've realized is whatever approach you take, it's something that addresses both the mind and the body. For example, if you're just doing talk therapy, that's only going to get you so far. If you're just doing yoga, physical therapy, physical exercise is only going to take you so far. That's why I'm a huge believer in more of a somatic approach, And, yoga, when done correctly, it addresses the mind and the body, or, practices like Qigong that are addressing in Eastern medicine, in Ayurvedic Chinese medicine, you see it looks at the body from an energetic standpoint. So that's really important. The other thing that's really important is finding community and support and accountability. We are not designed, like, as a species to do it alone. We're designed to do this in community, with family, with the greater greater group, whether it's brotherhood, sisterhood, that are supporting us. So find the communities for yourself. It could be a Sunday sports group, it could be going to church, it could be finding some sort of club, reading club, whatever it might be. Seek out your community, seek out the support and the help. And the more that you invest in yourself, time, money, energy, to going on that path to better health and well-being, right, the more you are going to be rewarded. It starts with, how are you speaking to yourself, right? How are you showing up for yourself? And the practice of mindfulness, the practice of meditation, is all about becoming aware of what's going on, right? And again, you're not going to talk yourself out of it, but through those practices, you can be aware of what's going on. For me, to give an example, like the programming that I had, like, I had to be better, as an athlete, as a student, as a professional in the workplace. There was this really strong programming running through me that I was just never good enough, right? And so that programming dictated everything that I was doing, and it affected my work, it affected relationships. So if we can start to really address those things, and when did those things stem from? Where did they come from, right? Probably sometime in childhood. And it's not about what happened to us, although that is important. The trauma is not about what happened to us, it's what's happening inside of us. So if we can connect with that deeper programming that's happening inside us, and every time those emotions or those challenging sensations or those stories are coming up, if we can just pause and notice it and create some separation for a moment. That's why practices like breath work are so powerful. Journaling, getting into a habit, again, it's going to look different. And then we just start to become more and more aware, right? Again, like I said, there is a higher intelligence that's always speaking to us, and some questions to reflect on are, in what ways are you limiting your own authentic expression? Because when it comes down to it in life, what's really important for our health and well-being is having secure relationships, secure attachment with yourself and others, and then 2, healthy expression of yourself. So take a look at your life, how you show up, what you're doing in the world. Are you able to live in alignment with your truth in terms of what you're, not just what you're doing for work, but what you're doing for fun and your relationships, your activities? Are there parts of you that you're hiding from the world, or are you boxing yourself in certain categories, right? Or just certain activities that are limiting you from really living free? Because ultimately, what are the things that we're craving? We're craving, yes, health, well-being, joy, happiness. It's that sense of freedom, right? So take an assessment of all of the ways that you might be limiting that for yourself, right? Start journaling, start taking a note of it. Then start to think about, what are the things that you just purely love doing that bring you so much joy? Again, because if we're in a place of challenge, frustration, pain, or we're in our nightmare, we want to move away from our nightmare towards our dream. We have to think about, what are the things that just light us up, that bring us that joy? Maybe it's listening to good music, creating music, or singing, moving your body, dancing, playing sports, or it's doing some form of art, finding that creative self-expression. Because those are the moments then we can get into a sense of flow. You've all probably heard of flow state. When we're just unencumbered by that survival mind, we're in this state of being, and the energy just moves through us. We've lost sense of time. If you've seen the great athletes, they're just in the zone, flowing, and The other thing that's really important is in those states, there's no judgment. Because most of our life, we're working through a lens of the ego, and it's just judging, right? So if you're going through a challenging time, know that there are going to be pathways out of that challenge. It's requiring you to listen more deeply, okay? To slow down, to really reflect on what's happening. Look at all areas of your life, your health, your well-being, and then take an assessment from there. You know, what are decisions that maybe you've been hesitant to make for fear, right? What are things that you've been limiting in your life that you know are going to bring you more of that sense of excitement, joy, happiness, and well-being, right? And for any of us and all of us who experience addictive behavior patterns, again, it doesn't just have to be drugs or alcohol. It can be so many things. You could be addicted to fitness if you're just doing it way too much and way too intensely. You could be addicted to sugar. You could be addicted to work. So just know that those coping mechanisms / addictions are serving a purpose in the sense that they're helping us create distance from our pain and the challenge. But the more that you can lovingly come closer to the pain, the challenging sensations, the feelings, really give space for that part of yourself and breathe with it, the more that you'll be able to kind of move forward with it and let that emotion go. And that's where you create sustainable changes in behavior. And then substitute the coping mechanism, substitute that with something healthier. Things like I just talked about, whether it's creative expression or healthier choices for food, for hydration, for a relationship, or taking care of your body. Thank you for listening, and I hope this message helped. I trust that it did. And just know that if you are going through a hard time, if you're going through a challenge with your health and you want to make change in your life, it is possible. You have to slow down, take a pause, really listen to yourself, and trust and trust that you are going to get out of this and your life. There's something that's just so amazing that's waiting for you. And trust me, like the universe wants the best for you. But actually what is happening is there's something in you that's resisting that. And so you have to take a closer look at yourself in terms of where are you resisting and where are you making choices where you are sabotaging your life. Trust that you can have the life of your dreams, that it's waiting for you, and that you can create the reality that you want. It starts with you. The answers are not outside of yourself. So thanks for listening. Again, this is Nosh here. And if you enjoyed this video, please share, subscribe, connect. All my information is below. So check out my website, my offerings, and you got this. Have a good one.